Hello everyone, I am Flankara, and today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So, last time I started going through and organizing my layers, and I wanted to double check something about how mesh groups work in Inochi2D, which I have since done, and indeed, when you start nesting them, things get a little bit weird. So I'm going to avoid doing that, so I took some time to think about exactly how I think that the rest should be laid out. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to separate the coat into left and right again. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and finish sorting all my layers. And then from there I'll go back to meshing stuff in the hair. And probably everything in the head, for that matter. And then I'll do one more for coat back. There we go. And that should be fine for the back of the coat there. Maybe at the bottom. Alright, so I'm just going to start getting everything in. This is where having everything named well for left to right is really helpful. So I'll just start getting all that in there, and I think I'll further subdivide things. I might do a mesh grip for the sleeve. This is where I'm not sure if I want to use a mesh grip for that or not, but it's probably fine. I'm gonna give it a try and see what happens. Like I said, not super experienced here, so I'm trying things, and I'm gonna see what happens. Can't learn anything if you don't try. So this model here is just going to be all about experimentation for me. Besides my big model, I think I've done like 3 other ones as experiments to just kind of figure out the program and all that stuff. And it's complicated, so there's a lot to know. So a lot of this is just going to be me also trying to figure out how it works, so I hope that'll be interesting to watch. But at least in my opinion, you really can't be afraid of messing up and trying new things. That's how you figure out how it all works. Oh, did I not put the coat back here? Oh, I see. I already made a coat back group. Okay. Well, I can just put all that in the coat. I don't need to have it separate like this. In fact, I should probably put this up with the head. It can be easy to forget that I don't necessarily need to keep things in the draw order like I would for like art and stuff. Because the way they determine the order of the layers is not the order that you just put on here. It's, each one has a number associated with it, and you can change that number at will. So it doesn't actually matter the order that I put them on here for drawing purposes. And I think this is fine. Okay, so now we'll start dividing all this. We'll make a spot for the sleeve. Oh dear, did I put you in the wrong spot? Here, here. Did I get my left and right confused? Shoot. I did. Okay, okay, I know how to fix this. Crisis averted. No, this is the right. Wait, how did I... No, I have this in the right spot. Did I... Okay, I see. So I do need to switch all the layers. Oh, that is deeply unfortunate. Okay. Well, that's probably easier than... No, actually, it's probably not. Let's see. Yeah, I'd have to pull a bunch of shenanigans. I always forget exactly how to move things around. But I think it's just going to be easier to switch the layers. Oh, dyslexia. It's alright. There is a way out. Even if it is just a little inconvenient here. Okay. And then I'll just put these back into the other one. And that should have the effect I want. Because yeah, I apparently got the left and right mixed up in my head. No surprises there, it happens all the time. I just hate it when it does. It's a bit obnoxious. Come on, go in. Okay, is it in? Yes. Okay, so now that should be associated properly with that. And you are now right. Okay, so I just had to switch things around. And I think I still want this in the top. And probably a little further to the left, honestly. Where do I want the sleeve to rotate? Probably right around here. Yeah. Alright, so now we have that, and and I think besides that, I also want one for the collar parts right here. Yes, this is right. It is indeed on the right side there. And I'll push him down here. I don't think this one really matters. I'm probably not going to move it quite like that. Collar, yes. So now I'll grab all the collar layers. And we'll go ahead and plop them right in there. Then I'll get the sleeve. Yeah, some of these I kind of just like to group them up. Even though I'm pretty sure that some of this is unnecessary, but the sleeve I definitely want to move together. Which I may or may not use a mesh group on, I haven't decided yet. Fortunately, it's pretty easy for me to change my mind here. But at the very least, I do want to be able to rotate them together, so a node is appropriate, even as more than just my inappropriate folder use. All the back parts. Okay, so I think this is all the sleeve parts. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, this should go in here. I kind of want you at the bottom, though, not the top. Alright. Because, yeah, I'm putting the shadow in here because when this moves, I want the shadow to move with it. And that's roughly how you have to think about things when you're doing the rigging as opposed to the drawing. Like the drawing, you put things together based on the, you know, layer order and how things are drawn. Here, you put them together based on how they move. And all this is probably okay. Just out there on its own. Alright, let's do the same here. And once again, I'll slide them over a little bit. Okay. Coat. Color. And left. Yes, we're on the left, not the right, the left. And actually, I want to be a little bit more particular with where I'm putting some of these. Although I guess it's a little bit too late. Because then I'd move everything around and I kind of don't want to deal with that. Whatever, it's fine. If I was a little bit more particular, I could have made it more symmetrical. It's probably worth doing, honestly. I can probably get away with doing it like this. Because this is only stopping the parent, right? Yes, okay. Let's move these around a little bit. Although this is the one I thought was better placed, isn't it? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give them the same X and Y coordinates. So that this way, and when I go to flip things to the other side, it's symmetrical and I will have to pull the shenanigans. So by clicking this little lockbox here, I can stop all my layers from moving when I go to copy and paste these numbers over. I want them to be the same, just opposite. There we go. And so now I'll go through and unlock each one. And it'll be more symmetrical. Let me see. Here, I think I'm going to make my life easy and just make a new sleeve. And just use, where's my... Oh no, it's because I haven't... That's why I was thinking about that, right. Okay, so we're okay. I can just use the same numbers that I used over here. Because I haven't put the layers in here yet, so... Yeah, and this way, once I need to mirror things around and all that good stuff, they'll just be symmetrical and I can just use the same numbers. And I don't need to make things hard on myself. I can tell it's been a while since I've rigged anything because I completely forgot that that's something I want to do. Okay. So we should be good there. Are there any other symmetrical things that I really want to make sure that I have in the same places? Probably around the head. Hopefully I had the foresight to do that with the eyes. I didn't. Okay. Oh no. Okay, well I'll go back and fix that. I'll finish what I was doing here first. be sad about myself briefly. Let's see, there should be another collar layer here somewhere. Here it is. And I'll just keep sorting these layers for now, but I'm gonna go back and fix all the important ones on the head before I move on. And just because I think I'll be sad later if I don't. Alright. Let's see, which one do I like the position of more? Looks like they're pretty close, so I don't think it matters that much. But I guess, yeah, the left one's a little bit better. So I will lock everything here, so this way the layers don't move around when I go to change this. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a better way to do it, but I don't know what it is, so I'm doing it like this. And then I'll just take these values over here and mirror it. And there we go. Now I can unlock everything again. This way I can move things around when the time comes. First I have to finish sorting layers and meshing, which will take an eternity, and I'm a little bit terrified. And it's alright. I have most of the layers sorted already, so it's not taking that long. I might end up sorting them more finely later, but honestly, so far I think this is fine. Now I can easily just do this, and so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay. So now I can go into the shirt and start figuring out where I want everything. So I'm pretty sure I put the arms in here too. Oh no, I do have the arms separate. Okay, and so I probably already have those roughly where I want them. So this is strictly for that. Yeah, that's a fine way to do it. But I think I do want the location. Honestly, I think at that point it would be easier just to make new groups. So this is going to be the new... Let's see. Do I like... These are located. Yeah, I think I like the location of the right arm a little bit better, so this will be the new left arm node. And I will use the numbers from here. Try to keep things a little bit more symmetrical. Just getting left and right confused in my head again, and I want to make sure I had it all right. So then I'll just take all of the layers here and move them to my new group, and then delete this one. That's probably easier than going through and checking and unchecking that little box for this particular one. Alright, and then just put everything back and all good. Okay. I don't think these need too much editing. This is probably fine for that. The skirt, however, I definitely want a separate node for the belt, just because So what the way mesh groups work is that when you put a node into it, it will not be... It won't transform things in the node. So this will keep the belt separate. And so that this way it doesn't get morphed along with everything else on the skirt. And I can move this myself however I want it. And I think that makes a little bit more sense for this. Okay. So let's see, is there anything else that I kind of want to put into its own group? I don't think so. No, I think that's probably good. Zippers. I guess, I can put this, no. There we go. I can put this in with the zippers. This will keep them moving together, which I think is what I want. The rest I don't really care so much about. And I guess I can do this for organization's sake. Belt loops should definitely be going with the belt. I think I want them at the bottom though. Wish there was an easier way to get things to the bottom. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I always feel like I have a hard time getting things to do that. Alright. The buttons I think I will put with the button holder. And the shadows on the buttons. This way they all move together. But all that is fine. Alright. So I think that's my layer sorted, so that's going to be roughly the structure of it all. So let's go back to meshing the hair. Let's see, where was I? Here we are. So last time I had done the first 2 layers in there, and you can see that it got pretty detailed. Some of them are going to be more detailed than others. Like this one, probably not so much. Let's see what the auto mesh gives me. Not a lot. I wonder if there's a way I can reset this. Oh no, I did just download the newest version, so I should have everything. I guess I can start with this. Even though it only covered about half of it. That's so strange to me. I wonder why I did it like that. Guess I'll just triangulate it like this. But I guess it got me a reasonable start, so... It'll probably save me a little bit of trouble. I definitely do want to try to use the auto mesh just a little bit more. Do I need that one? I guess I don't. Especially for ones that don't need to be especially detailed, like here. Here doesn't... Here's just a tiny little spot. Just a tiny spot, so it's totally fine if I just make this one not quite as detailed as the front bang there. You know, that's front and center. Right where everyone's looking. Something like that should be okay. Yeah, I think something like this should be okay for this one. Don't want to get too caught up in perfectionism, even though it's hard. So for this one, this is one where I think I want a row going down the middle, and then stuff on each side. Mesh out the rest of the triangles. This one I'm making more detailed, because I think being able to swing this around will be fun. Alright. And then I will just put these triangles on either side, and then they'll just be on either side once it gets to the bottom. I'd say like so, but it's gonna take me a second to get all the way down there. The meshing process definitely a bit slow. It's probably gonna be a case where I finish meshing the head, do a little bit of actual rigging, get it to move, have some exciting stuff going, and then I'll mesh the body. Just for the sake of my own sanity. It's oh boy. Nah, I don't think I need. I think this is fine. Little tip doesn't need to be quite so particular. Alright. So now I'm just cleaning up some of those triangles that got generated. I may or may not need to. I'm not actually sure how much they harm the overall art mesh, but I can tell you that they'd annoy me while working. I've had some experience with that where I was a little bit lazy with cleaning them up, or occasionally where I just didn't notice that they were there. And they do get a little bit annoying. So I just like to take the time to clean them up. Have very nice meshes. Make life for my future self a bit easier. I'm just going through here and making sure that all these triangles are nice. With this kind of structure, it's pretty important that they all be aligned nicely. Okay. And at the very least, I'm pretty sure that front bang was probably the most detailed piece of hair in terms of drawing. There's a couple of other detailed ones from what I remember. But that was the big one. So hopefully the rest goes a bit faster. Because it's like I spent like, what, 30 minutes just getting that one right? You can see I'm just kind of following the overall structure of the hair. This one's thin enough that I'm probably just going to do a similar structure to the last one. This right through here is getting just thick enough that I considered doing it differently, but I think this is fine. And then I need a little branch coming off here to get this one. I think an argument could have been made for separating this, but I think I'm okay with the fact that I didn't. Alright, time to get the rest of the triangles. So I'm just gonna do the same thing I did last time. Get nice little triangles going here, on either side. And once again, I'm finding myself wishing that I could change these colors. Maybe there is a way and I just don't know about it. have just a lot of little triangles here. And I just got done playing more Factorio with my husband, and my head is still somewhat in that game right now. We're doing our second playthrough, and we're trying to find good ways to expand faster and more reliably, so we're not constantly tripping over ourselves. Because man, did we have to pull some shenanigans in order to launch our first rocket. We had a saying for some of our conveyor belts of, saying that they were just going on stupid journeys. I will always remember the low-density structure stupid journey. Just because of where we had to put some things and how we had to route some things in order to get them to where they needed to go. It's like our current factory is much more tidy. So we're running into all kinds of brand new issues, and that's always a good time. It's a good game. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. Let's see here. Something like this for the end, yeah. Probably don't need this one. Just added one too many. That's not a problem. There we go. Just get those triangles back in there. And that's great. Now I just gotta clean up all the useless triangles. This is... The computer doing that for me is one quality of life feature I really do look forward to. Whenever it can be added. That's kind of the thing with a lot of open source projects is there are very few developers working on them, so I always want to get the most exciting features out. And this is perhaps a little bit less exciting. That's not a criticism of any of the developers. It's totally reasonable to want to get the most exciting features out. That was not the one I meant to get rid of. But worked out in the end. Alright, and then I just want to kind of adjust these a little bit. Get the triangles nice, get them nice and close to the actual art. As much as I can. It'll help me out in the long run. I'm just looking at all this hair and I'm just like, oh man, I really cannot wait to put physics on it. That's what's making me think that I might just start rigging the head a little bit before I move to the body. Just a little bit. I don't have to do everything. But maybe I want to do a little. It's fortunate that I have to mesh all this before I actually can do any of that stuff, or I'd be tempted to just jump right in and do it now. But no, I guess I have to do some of the boring parts first. I guess. Alright. No, it's okay. Tolerating some of this stuff just makes those later parts all the more exciting. I'm going to keep this This is just a loop, so I don't have to make it too fine, but I do want to give it some room to wiggle. So maybe something like this. And this one's thin enough that I'm just going to go back and forth across it like this. I don't think I need to pull any shenanigans here. No shenanigans necessary. There we go. Yeah, I think that's all of it. So let's just neaten up the triangles a little bit. I always find it a little bit easier to do it after I've baked in the lines that I've made. Okay, that should be good. I get the feeling today is going to be entirely meshing hair. Let's see what the auto mesh gives me. Could be worse. Actually, I don't think I like it all around there, so we'll just yeah, I think I'm going to spend more time editing that than just going in and doing it myself. Looks like the big part that I'm going to care about here is this line. So I'm going to put a good ridge right through here. And then it'll converge right down there. That should be good. And then I'll just put some around the edges. And I'll turn the lines on after that. I find it a little bit hard to see with the lines on sometimes, so if I can conceptualize it, sometimes I'll just put the dots on first. And in this case, there's pretty clear places to put it. Okay, that should be fine. Right, just like that. Yeah. Alright. I'll just start getting in the other side of this line here. I'm not too worried about the ones over there just yet. I will worry about those after I have this part filled in. One thing at a time. If I try to do more than that, well, I'll just confuse myself and get overwhelmed. So I'm just going to start with this one line going right through here. And then right around here should be where it converges. That should be good. And would you look at that? For the most part, it just kind of worked out. So I can just go and make these triangles a little bit nicer. And see if I need to add any more. But for the most part, nope, it looks like I just had good spacing. That's nice, it doesn't always work out that way. I'm not always the best at gauging distances, so sometimes I have a little bit of trouble with that sort of thing. But it worked out perfectly here, and I am very happy. So I'll just get some on the outside now. The thing with the art mesh is that you want to make sure that the entire piece of, the entire layer is within the triangles. Because anything that isn't is just going to get cut off. Like, there will just literally be a big gaping black hole if there's no triangle over it, so you gotta include the entire thing. No one can be left out. Not one single pixel. There's something kind of nice about that thought. Gotta make sure there's room for everyone. Okay, I can see that there's like a missing triangle here somewhere. I was just having trouble locating where it was. Apparently it was right there. I find it just as I start saying something about it. Isn't that how it always tends to work? And then I think I want a little something around this. Alright, then oop, that was not an extra line. Just gotta go in and clean up all the extra lines here. And then I remember that there were a few that I had to fix. This one looks extra. So we should be fine without it. I think I want that to go down there, but this is all good. Some of this is still a little bit weird, but let's see here. Do I just need an extra vertex here? I might. Something like that, maybe. I'm just making sure this little ridge goes all the way up and doesn't get confused anywhere. Sometimes they do. And I saw some kind of not necessarily go in the direction I wanted them to, but I think this is... everything's all good now. So I'll go ahead and do my triangle adjustments. And there we go. Yeah, just like that. Like, the process of meshing is a little bit tedious, but honestly, once you get a groove going, I find it's not that bad. Here we go. Alright, and so this one's another one where I think I can just do 3 rows. Little rows. I'll just follow that little center point. I always like to describe the center rows of dots here as just like a spine. So right now I'm just kind of defining the spine of the hair. And then the rest I think I'll do is zigzag. I think it's just too thin for anything else. I always do find transitioning from the three lines of dots to 2 to be a little bit annoying, but I think it's fine here. I think it's probably the best I can do for this strand. It just gets too thin at the bottom to have a center point that makes sense. I'll go ahead and define the 3 rows and then figure out how to consolidate them into 2. You can see the dots are getting really close together around this curve. I'll definitely have to adjust the triangles a little bit once after I clean up these extra lines and stuff. That's okay. That's why I just like to do a little bit of triangle adjustment in the end. Really pay attention to where everything is. So now I'll just have it start heading on down. Looks like it wasn't too annoying to transition to 2 rows instead of 3. And there we go. Now it's all enclosed. And I can just start getting rid of all these extra lines that get added in. Alright, there we go. Now the lines are cleaned up and I can go just adjust my triangles a little bit. Try to get the ones around this bend a little bit straighter. Ooh, I missed one. I don't really want to go and clean up all those lines again, so I'm just gonna do it like this and hope for the best. Yeah, that seems correct. There we go. So I had an extra line going down one of them, which just meant that I missed a vertex somewhere. So I just went ahead and added it in and made the triangle myself. Like, you don't have to rely completely on the auto connect tool. You can always connect the entire thing yourself. I just find that much harder to do than using the auto connect. I just use that thing that connects them automatically, and then I make any minor changes. I find that it does a better job than a lot of the auto mesh does. Okay. So yeah, it's looking like at this rate I should be able to at least finish the hair today. The hair is probably one of the longest meshing processes, so it'll be nice if I can finish it today. Just I gotta do one strand at a time. Slowly but surely. And eventually it'll all be done. Alright, that seems reasonable to transition into 2. There we go. Just focusing a little there. Probably don't need to so much, though. It's not exactly super difficult. And here, I think I might actually keep the extra line on this one. Like, I could probably force an extra vertex in there, but I think that they're going to start getting so close together that one of them just needs an extra line going around this bend. That happens sometimes with curves like that, so it's not that big a deal. I've never had any problems with that kind of shape around that kind of area. Let me just straighten out these triangles a little bit. Here we go. Oh, did not mean to delete that. Hooray. Honestly, it's kind of fun getting back into rigging like this. And with any luck, I'll have a little bit more energy to do some drawing on the side. I went hard, like really hard, for like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and I've been feeling a little bit tired afterwards. I think I mentioned before of just trying to get that momentum back. But probably won't go that hard again for a while. Because for a while I was doing something pretty much every hour of the day that my kids were not demanding my immediate attention. And it was great. I wish I could do that all the time. But after a while, it's like you do just run out of juice. And you kind of need to scale back to something reasonable. But oh man, when I'm into it, those are like the best times. Makes me so happy. So I've just been working on certain aspects of my art, mostly around expressive posing. Never quite been satisfied with it. And I think I can push expressions a little bit more now. I did a very fun experiment with Ifrit from Dark Knights that I'm almost done with. I'm just trying to get the last few elements in, and I've been having a hard time finding time to work on it. So I'm kind of hoping to get back into that and finish it, so this way I can go and upload it for everyone to see. The kind of picture that makes me hope that people have as much fun looking at it as I did drawing it. Still have an extra line here. See, some of those little guys are sneaky. Pretty hard to find. But it's okay, I'll hunt them down one by one. And if I miss some, it's honestly probably not that big a deal. Sometimes I leave them in after, sometimes I just go back into the mesh and delete them. Depends on my mood. Sometimes I just kind of can't be bothered to go back into the mesh and edit it. Kind of tells me that I may not need to worry so much about getting them all gone, but man, they kind of annoy me. So I do like getting rid of them when I can. Alright, all that looks looking pretty okay. I'll just head back up here. Just straighten out any of these little triangles. But yeah, I am hoping that even beyond the typical fan art that I've been doing lately, that I can have a few surprises. I'm probably gonna do another character design for my own purposes soon. I do like doing full design sheets. I think they're very fun to make. I plan to do another one of those once I finish drawing it for it here. Sorry, I keep giving you guys Windows noises every day. I really need to stop it from doing that. I could have sworn that I had the whole thing muted, but then it just decides it doesn't want to be. I do indeed have system sounds muted, but it finds ways to annoy me anyway. Oh well. Life is hard. What are you gonna do? Also trying to think of other interesting fan art to draw. I have a few ideas. Mostly around, Path to Nowhere stuff. I do enjoy the character designs in that game, as you can probably tell with just how long I've been working on this one picture. They're pretty great to work with. Honestly, even their lower rarity characters don't miss for me. They're very nicely drawn. Oh, no, that wasn't one. Okay. Looked like there was an extra line there, but I guess there isn't. I can just freely go in and adjust the triangles a little bit. Trying to think of my favorite Path to Nowhere designs, like not necessarily the characters, just their character design. I think it probably would have to be either Adello or Oak. It's weird because I don't normally go for the goth types too much, but the black and white in one color, as you might imagine from what I like to do with my minimalist styles, just I find very appealing. I always like when we get more designs like that. And here we get a nice simple strand. Just a nice little 2-row thing. Nothing complicated. There's been a few strands that I have to spend a few minutes on, but some of these I feel like I get done in like under 3. So that's kind of what gives me the confidence that I should be able to finish at least meshing the hair. I'm really fast, and certain parts end up being easier than I expect them to be. Maybe I can even get the eyes. Oh, that would be exciting. Yeah, this one's probably going to be a little bit more detailed. Let's find the important points here. Spots that I want lines going down. So I can already see this big line right here. This is probably going to be the most important point. The place at the highest level of contrast, so... I'll just let it trail off there. And then through here. This one's thick enough that I think I can just do like a 3-row on that. And then there's a little bit of a line kinda on the edge here. So I'm gonna go make sure that that's very well taken care of. Okay, and they'll kind of feed in, and then I don't think that any of these lines are quite as important. Maybe right through here. Just follow this group. With another kind of following down here. So now I should be able to just get into the edges. And that should define everything. So let's see, how do I want to do this? This is a curve I can probably... get away with... Yeah. No, I'm still missing one somewhere. There we go. Yeah, you want this nice little zigzag. I find that meshes like these have great effects. I'm able to get them to do exactly what I want most of the time. So this one, the missing one, is on this side. Still kind of deciding what I should draw next here. It's like I think I'll probably be working on this for the next month or so, but... well, I do have some ideas. I am very much open to suggestions if there's some that you'd like to see. It's like if I have something that I just really want to do, I'll still do that, but... hey, there's nothing wrong with asking for your favorite character. Worst I can do is... say no. It doesn't offend me. I know it does some artists, but I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those artists. Especially when it comes to fan art. Probably helps that I'm not currently taking commissions, so... I'm just here to have a good time. Here to have a good time and maybe get some other people to draw to. So, you know, maybe rather than ask me to draw your favorite character, maybe you should try drawing them yourself. And we can all draw together, and you can show me the result, and I'll even bring it up on stream if you'd like. But only if you want to. I can understand if you just kinda don't want it to be shown in front of an audience. Sometimes art can be a little bit personal. There are some things that even I don't upload. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep it to yourself. But maybe still wanting to show it off a little bit. Either way, I'll be happy to take a look. This is another one of those detailed ones, so it's taken a little while for me to get through it. But I think that should do it. I just gotta clean up triangles and stuff. There's a few lines that I don't think are going quite to the right place. So we'll grab those after I clean this up. That was a little bit of a mess. I'm just gonna follow this path here. Yeah, that's all good. I think this is actually just extra. Same with right here. I thought there was a couple that kind of got all wonky. Yeah, here we are. That connects like that. And we just go all the way around. Probably makes more sense for it to be like this. Just adjust around here to make that triangle a little bit nicer. And I can finish cleaning up the edges and double checking the lines again. There we go. Just like that. And just like that, we're about done. Just checking all my triangles. Making sure the lines go where I want them to, and then I'm just going to clean up the triangles a bit. Get them nice and straight. Straight and in a row. Probably something a little bit more like that. Yeah. That's definitely a bit better. Oh, I did miss. That was the one that I was thinking of. That's another reason I like to go and check the triangles real quick. Sometimes I find where I miss spots. But fortunately, even if I miss a spot, it's not the end of the world. I can always go and fix it if it's interfering with me being able to deform something underneath it. And you know, if it's not interfering with anything, then, you know, it's fine as is. It doesn't need to be fixed. No, I think I prefer it this way. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it's like if there's no problems, then it doesn't even need to be fixed. So sometimes things just work out. Let's see, okay. So that should be good. And now we're back to little bits. The auto mush helped me out here. Not really. Okay. Probably don't need any particularly large or small pieces for this, so even something this size I think should be fine. So I'm just gonna go around the edge and not worry too much about the textures inside. Yeah, I think that should look pretty good. This is 4 rows of dots. Still a pretty simple little guy. Might need to adjust some triangles at the end, though. Just a little bit. Yeah, just right through there. That's fine. I can do that. It's not too much effort. It's probably... As you can see, it's not quite following the curve of all the rest. And right here, too. You can see this is connecting up there instead of making this nice enclosed shape that I wanted. But that's why we just adjust it manually. It's not that hard. Not hard at all. There we go. let's see. It looks like we're about halfway there. Seems about right. Oh, I messed up. Oh yeah, you can see this is what happens when you mess up the mesh. Okay, messed up here. Oh, yep. There we go. I just forgot to connect some lines. Probably when fixing something. There we go. All better. Alright, back to what I was doing. Just another little one. Let me do another 4-row one. Another 4-row mesh. Just some on the inside here. And we do some on the inside here. And then just enclose it all on the outside. Nice and simple. I find that for a lot of things, these, the principles of this 2-row, 3-row, or 4-row applies quite consistently. Like, obviously, when I'm doing some of those really detailed can't talk. Some of those really detailed meshes that you've seen in the hair, that I do a lot more than 4 rows, but the same principle of the 4-row kind of applies, of just go around the edge, just like that. So you can see this is going to be 3 rows of dots. Keeping it pretty fine, so this way I can move it nicely. It's going to be so much fun once I can do physics. I really cannot stop gushing about how excited I am for hair physics. That's probably not going to be for a long time, unfortunately. That'll probably be the last thing I do for head angles. I'll just go in and add in hair physics. Let's see. And here I think it should transition to 2. And once again, just going around the outside. Like, you guys have seen me do a lot of 3-row meshes today, so this is just yet another one. Very useful for hair strands. I find that a lot of hair strands that are long like this tend to be either 2 or 3. Depends on how thick they are. The thick ones are 3, the thin ones are 2. So I'm curious, have any of you downloaded this craw file in order to try Inochi2D yourself? If you have, just let me know in the comments. And let me know how it's going. I'd love to see your progress. You can even link to it. Or just, add me on Twitter or Instagram and I'll take a look too. Whatever is easiest for you. One of my goals is definitely just to increase the number of creators out there. The people trying to turn the things in their head into a reality. I think it's very valuable. Right, I can see there's lots of little ones up there, so I might have to zoom in order to be able to see where those are. This is the downside to not being a little bit neater with my vertex placement as I'm working. And getting them all down. I get some extra triangles like this, and then I have to go through and clean them up. If I was a little bit neater, I might be able to avoid this. Something to think about, I guess. Something to think about. Might save me a little bit of time in the long run. There we go, just trying to get it to transition from the 3-row to the 2-row as this little strand gets very thin. I am looking forward to getting all these, to making everything move though. I can finally start explaining some of the things that were floating around in my head while I was working on cutting out the art. Now, maybe some of what I was rambling about in those earlier streams will start to make sense. Oh, a little tiny one. Easy too. Like, I don't always bring the lines out even right away, but, you know, when it comes to these little tiny guys, where I only do 2 rows, it's honestly easier to have it on right away. There we go. Okay. And oh man, starting to get to the right side. So probably about halfway through. Taking a bit longer to do some of these than I was hoping, so hopefully I'm able to finish today. But some of those big strands get pretty complicated. So we'll see how many big complicated ones there are on this side. Or if we can just keep it all simple. I think I'll do 3 for this one. This one's kind of borderline. I could probably do it 2 or 3. But I think right through here is thick enough that I want to do 3. 3 rows of dots. And here I don't think I will transition to 2 rows. I think I can just do 3 all the way to the end. Because it was still pretty thick at the bottom there. As you can see here, I didn't turn on the lines until I had the entire spine down. That's just what I found easiest. And yeah, I think I'll just manually fix that line there. Because I want it to connect like that. All the way down the spine of the hair. Because hair has spines now. In art, hair definitely has spines. You gotta respect them. Or your hair will look weird. Not fluffy at all. Which is weird, because normally you wouldn't associate having a spine with being fluffy, but art is pretty weird. That's how it works. Alright, this is probably the biggest, most important one on this side. This is the one that goes right next to her eyes. So I need to be very particular about getting this one right. Just follow the strand all the way down. I didn't quite understand what was going on when I was doing the art, cutting out the art, and honestly I still don't. But it's okay, it looks nice. So I just believed. And I think it worked out. So I'm just gonna follow all of these little shapes in the hair. And see, once again, you see I see this big shape right here, so I'll put some dots around it. And then down here, I think I can just do standard 3. Transition to a standard 3 row mesh. Follow both of these lines here. And I think it'll be that way all the way down. Okay. Okay. So let's see, how do I want to do the rest of this? I think just something like this should be fine. Fortunately, there weren't a ton of detailed parts here. So I think I'm just able to do something like that. And just like this should be okay. Alright, so now I have to think about how I want to handle this part right here. I think I want to... like, there's going to be like 2 sets here. There's going to be the part that stays close to here, and then there's the part that's going to go, like, right on the edge of the hair. I'll zoom in for this so I can kind of see what I'm doing. There we go. That should be fine. It gets a little bit bigger down here, but I think that's okay. I don't think it needs to be, like, super duper fine all the way down. Maybe a little bit more fine than this, though. This is getting... some of these parts are getting kind of big. And this is hair, and I want to really make sure that it moves nicely. Yeah, that should be a little bit better. And I'll just add a couple of extra triangles through here. This is where I see I'm starting to transition into standard 3-row. Missing a triangle here, which like here. Yeah, there we go. And then I can just run along the side here. And let's see, with the way I'm doing this right now, I guess this is gonna end up being 4 rows instead of 3, but I think that's probably fine. Because 3 rows would imply that this one, the parts that I'm putting in right now, should be on the outside. But with just how it worked out, they're on the inside, so... Like, part way down here, they're probably going to be on the outside just because it's going to get too thin. You can kind of see right through here, they're too thin to really handle any more on the inside there. I'm going to have to fix a lot of these triangles around here, but that's kind of to be expected. Alright, before I do that, let's go around to the outside here. Finish everything on this side, and then I'll go to the other side. That should work out just fine. And yeah, you can see this is kind of where that connects there. Oh god, there's gonna be so many lines I have to fix. There we go. That should be just fine. Now I can start going down this side. See how that connects with the other side of the lower part. I already have a bunch of triangles I need to fix, so I'm not worried about making some weird stuff. It'll be fine. I'll just go reconnect all the triangles and call it good. It'll be fine. I've got to worry about it so much. Okay. I guess it'll go down like this. And then up and around like this. Yep. That should do it. After I fix all these... all the terrible way the triangles are forming at the bottom. But I will fix that. It's okay. It'll be okay. Everything will be okay. It'll all work out in the end. It'll all work out. Okay. So this is going to be a nightmare to clean up, but There we go. Like I said, it'll all work out in the end. Life has a way of making things all work out in the end. Maybe not in the way you expected, but... no matter what you do, the sun will rise in the morning. Will continue to rise in the morning and fall at night. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it. You can't do anything more than roll with it. Okay, I don't feel like cleaning up those parts right now, so let's start fixing around here. I did get this right, yes. It's so hard to see on this color. Kind of weird though, I mean there's lots of anime characters with white hair. I would have thought that this would have been seen as an issue before, long before me. Oh well, it's fine. Like I said, it'll all be fine. Everything will work out in the end. The lines will be straight. The lines will follow the path I want. I will make them do that. They have no choice. This is not something they get to decide. Because when you make art, you get to make the decisions. You get to decide how the lines go. And everything is yours to decide on. Honestly, I probably should add a few more down here. I don't want to do this without the auto-triangulation, which is deeply unfortunate since I already started cleaning, but what can you do? This will be easier in the long run. Like I said, even if you gotta pull some shenanigans, Earth will keep spinning, sun will rise in the morning, fall at night. Everything will be fine. It'll work out in the end. Okay. Unfortunately, now I have to go and clean up all those lines that I cleaned up before again, but it's okay. I still think that was easier than trying to triangulate all the vertices myself. This is boring, but it's easy. It does not take much thought. Trying to do all those triangles, not easy, but also kind of boring. So, sometimes I gotta pick the lesser two evils. Just the way it works out. Alright. Back down here to fix all this. So looking at the time, I think this will actually be the last strand I do, so we're gonna have to do another stream of meshing hair. Look, you never really leave hair hell. It always comes back. It'll get you. It'll get you when you least expect it. It'll get you when you realize, oh hey, I have like 30 layers of hair. Now I have to mesh every single one of them. Help. Just making sure that everything follows the right curves here. Because it does kind of transition into a couple of different rows. And I'm trying to keep them largely flowing the same direction of the hair as opposed to across it. You can see this one's going across, so I'm adjusting that. looks like it's cooperating a little bit more up here. I know that there was a couple that I was gonna have to fix, like right here. I remembered that. I do try to remember where the odd ones are, but I don't always remember completely. It's pretty tough. And you're having to make all these tiny little decisions. Remember every single one of them. Okay, now I've got most of the hard parts out, so I can just go through. Huh, is this one completely extraneous? Looks like it. That happens sometimes too. Actually, it looks like this one is as well. Where I don't quite transition things properly. Sometimes you add a couple of extra vertices. Okay. Now I can go straighten out the triangles, and looking at the time, and I'm getting pretty hungry, so this is probably going to be the last one I do today. It's alright. I knew that meshing would take several streams to finish. Excuse me. Couldn't quite reach my mute button in time that time. I apologize for being a little bit loud there for the people that just enjoy the soft sounds and the nice piano music. But yeah, I knew that there'd probably be a few streams of meshing. We'll see if I want to jump into some actual rigging once I finish meshing all of the stuff on the head. Or if I want to just get all the meshes done right at the beginning. Okay. So yeah, looks like they weren't too messy this time around, but definitely good to straighten them out. Because the more straightened out they are around here, the better things will move when it comes time to deform them. So I want to be even more particular about the ones inside. Actually, I probably should have added another row right here, too. Like, I think I can just do it without having to worry about redoing everything I just did. Probably connects right there. Because I don't really feel like redoing everything again. And this one isn't quite as hard as the last one. This one should just go. Yep, nice and easy. Alright, and then I just adjust the triangles. Neaten them up a little. Yeah, just fine. Actually, I don't think I need that one. I'll just go pop right across. Alright, I think that's good. How many more do I have to do? Yeah, this is still only like the halfway point. So I'll go ahead and zoom everything out so we can take a look at everything. And select all the meshing I just did for fun. As you can see, it gets very detailed. Well, yes, I think that'll be all for today, so thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message me on, or at me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.